Hi, my name is Liz Hathway and this is my astrological look at the week ahead. That's the week starting January 21st, 2019. So, okay, we had a lunar eclipse this morning. I think it was around, 6-ish in Amsterdam this morning. Very cold here at the moment. And I must admit, I did not go out and look for it. So I hope some of you got to see it. I'm sorry I was a bit of a weakling. I didn't really feel like going out on my own at 6 this morning. But anyway, the eclipse was felt on many levels. And it's about, a lunar eclipse. It's how we feel. It's what we feel is going on. This was an eclipse in Leo. And I think one of the things, I say, eclipses are kind of like spotlights. They throw a light on things. And one of the things that have been a light has been thrown on us, what's being exposed very clearly at the moment, is the autocratic style of some leadership. I mean, it beggars belief that, 800,000 workers in the US haven't been paid, for example. It beggars belief really as well that a 97-year-old man who's caused an accident can be driving his car 2 days later without even a seatbelt on. So, the Leo sort of royal, sort of autocratic sort of style seems in a way to be very much opposed to, the sort of Aquarius idea of democracy, the rights of the many. So I think this is one of the themes that was definitely being picked up on during that eclipse and around this eclipse. And we're not through it yet, because when Mercury moves into Aquarius, and that is on Thursday, we're going to see a lot of the themes very strongly coming forward again. I mean, Mercury changing sign is quite interesting, moving into Aquarius, the sign that's very much related to democracy. And, Mercury's a bit of an odd character in many respects. I mean, we should always remember he's the sort of god of tricksters as well, and tradesmen, and he's a psychopomp. He leads the souls of the dead into Hades as well. So he can change allegiance. He's a fast mover. And I think what we see on Wednesday, for example, is Mercury squaring Uranus. So there could be a break there. There could be a shift there. There could be, a change in allegiance, shall we say, as Mercury moves from conservative, practical, pragmatic, a little bit stick in the mud, old-fashioned, old-school Capricorn, and moves much more into idea-seeking, idea-sharing. In some ways as well, though, that's the thing with Aquarius. It's very, it's about liberal values. It's about democracy, but on the other hand, it can also be quite autocratic. But I think some allegiances are going to change this week. And that will be around Wednesday when Mercury squares Uranus, because Uranus is saying, what rule book? Chuck it out. We don't need it. We can make up new rules as we play. So there's a clash there with Mercury squaring Uranus as this flood of sort of, off the wall, wild, daring, because, Aries dares, as I say, fools rush in, where angels fear to tread. That is, that epitomizes Aries to me. I always see Aries as the sort of, the fool in the tarot. It's not looking where it's going, but it is going somewhere. It's definitely on a road. It's on a mission. It's, it's willing to take risks as well to get there. So there's this, opportunistic sort of, clash between, these two ways of doing business, because Uranus is said to be the higher octave of Mercury. So look out for that. On another level, of course, it could just be a shocking news story. We hear something that makes us go, what? You're kidding me. Something completely, off the wall. It could also be, on another level, it could be disruptive thoughts. I mean, if you've got a plan, a game plan for your life, this is how it's going to be. And then, you get the sort of idea, Uranus coming in, it's like, whoa, rethink, massive rethink, press the reset button. And that can be quite unnerving, if your game plan is changing. And if you feel, for whatever reason, the road that you had marked out for yourself is not the one that you want. This is very much how Uranus works. It brings space, it creates space, but there's a price to it. You know, the old has in some way to adapt to accommodate it, and we don't always, you know what you have, you don't yet know what you're going to get, so there's always that bit of ooh, you know. A nice week, I think, for relationships. On Monday we have Venus square Neptune, which I think I spoke quite a lot about last week, and Mars square Saturn, so I don't want to go too much again into that. Yeah, Venus square Neptune is kind of like, you know, the dream reality, you know, sort of conflict, you know, how things in the ideal world would be, but, you know, this is the real world, welcome to it. That's kind of like Mercury square Neptune. But fortunately on Tuesday we see Venus conjunct Jupiter. How nice is that? If you're forging new alliances, if you're looking for new relationships, and I'm not just thinking love, but I'm thinking of business or friendships or whatever, you know, they seem to have the stamp of approval. Conjunctions are the start of things. So even if you've got nothing sort of, you know, no new people coming into your life or whatever, it's a good day actually tomorrow just to look at where that conjunction's falling in your chart and make a few affirmations with regard to that area of your life, you know, some positive affirmations, because yeah, this is about faith in yourself, faith in your relationships. It's optimistic, it's forward looking, and it's exciting as well. You know, Sagittarius is always journeying, it's moving ahead, it's going somewhere, so that's a lovely conjunction there. So have I missed anything? I say Mars square Saturn, it's today. I mean, personally, I'm having a slow start. I don't know about you, but Mars square Saturn can slow things down. It can get you bogged down in things as well. You know, if you've got a lot of plans, and, you know, Saturn sort of puts obstacles in your path and you know, disrupts the flow. I just want to make one last point though before I finish with this short review of the week. I think it's very interesting to note that we have no retrograde planets at the moment. And we won't have any retrograde planets now until the 5th of March. There's quite a nice little thing going on there, because Mercury goes retrograde on the 5th of March, and then the day after we have the new moon, and Uranus moves into Taurus. And Mercury as well going retrograde in the very last degrees and minutes of Pisces. So there will be backtracking, there will be some rethink, reset. But at the moment, you know, all the planets are moving direct. Now, I was thinking about this morning. What does it mean? Does it mean we're moving forward? I don't think it does, because if we look at Brexit, for example, I mean, we could not be more bogged down really in Britain than we are at the moment. It could be, I think, more lightly a way it's expressing this itself is the sense that things need to happen. You know, it's like we have a clear picture, at least, of what needs to happen. And that in itself, because there's nothing holding you back, you know, you've still, of course, got to put things into motion, you've got to lay it out, you've got to make it happen. But there is a sense of the planets moving forward, and they're not drawing us into that introspective mode. So that's quite interesting. Okay, have a great week. Speak to you again. Bye.